Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, there's something we have to talk about. And that is the continuation of Toy Story, the series, the franchise, the Pixar animated series that has made great strides in not only animation, but it's made great strides in storytelling, thematic storytelling, and the development of movies not only developed for children in animation, but revolutionizing the industry as a whole and bringing together a great fourth movie. Yes, today we talk about Toy Story 4 and my review of what I believe Toy Story 4 deserves and what it presents to you. Should you go see it or not? Wait and find out. Now, I have to start off Toy Story 4 with a little bit of context. So, Toy Story 4 can be watched on its own. There are references thrown back to the previous movies about, obviously Andy. This movie takes place immediately with a new owner named Bonnie. And she, as a young girl going through preschool and going into kindergarten, it takes a tough toll on the old toys that were taken to Bonnie, and it's an interesting evaluation into the psychology behind being left behind, being not the number one toy, and the psychology of not only Woody, but the other toys that aren't getting appreciated enough or desired as they once were with their previous owner, Andy. And I think it's important to look towards the psychology because I feel like that is what this movie mainly relies on. Although it's not the most complex psychology, although it's not the most complex thematics, it's a very, very good storytelling way. It's funny. It provides a good experience for everybody going into the movie. Now, we start off with Bonnie. I won't go into spoilers with this, but going into kindergarten, Woody wants to take care of her because obviously Bonnie is Woody's new kid, the owner of Woody. And Woody goes to school with Bonnie and takes home not only an experience and learning about her, but ends up finding a new friend, which has faced a lot of backlash and a lot of people were concerned, but brings home this new character, this new toy that Bonnie made, which is something that you haven't seen just yet in the franchise. Bonnie brings home Forky. Now, Forky is a spork mixed together with clay putty, mixed together with broken popsicle sticks and pipe cleaners and googly eyes. It's a mixture of childhood creativity, imagination, and obviously what the main theme about what Toy Story, the franchise, is really about, with the toys being alive, whether it's a real thing or is it just something that we imagine. And I think the creativity that comes into this new toy in Forky brings a new aspect to what being a toy is and whether or not these things are a real living existence or whether or not they are actually figments of our imagination. Now, I think the important part going into this is going in with an open mind. Now, this movie is not Toy Story 3. It doesn't have the emotional impact, I don't believe, that Toy Story 3 did. I think it carries on a very, very cool story that they haven't really done yet. They work well as a team. All the toys work well as a team because they have been a team. And it's obvious that they have these dynamics that have built through all these different movies, and it finally comes down to the development of these characters in this movie, and I feel like it's a dynamic and positive integration of character flaws, character arcs, and I feel like in the conclusion of a few characters in this movie, it makes perfect sense. Overall, I really, really do like this movie. One of my major things that I love about this movie is the themes that it addresses. Now, Toy Story is always those very simple themes. It's a child movie. It's not supposed to question your morality. It's something that questions your conscience. It questions not only in an amusing way your conscience, but it brings up the inner voice in your head. And it talks about what you should do, what you should stand for, and should you sacrifice things for the good of others. And I think it brings up very, very interesting looks into the human psychology through the toys. And I think it brings a very, very good example to children. I went, and I obviously went with another living adult, and it was a good time for both of us. None of us got really bored. It was a good time. I feel like this movie can be directed towards children and adults regardless of what you're going in looking for. If you're looking in for a story, if you're looking in for entertaining your child for a couple of hours, it is a fantastic experience. Now, Toy Story 4 isn't the longest of movies. It is an hour and 40 minutes. But it feels like the movie is perfectly length. They don't drag things out. It's outside the bedroom, outside of the stereotypical home, which some of the other movies have been kind of constricted to, where the home is the main aspect. This one, the open road and adventure and journey, being a part of a big, big journey is the really important part going into this movie. And I feel like it's extremely valuable to think about it in such a way that it isn't confined to what your preconceived notions of what the movie could be. Go into this thinking anything could happen. Go into this thinking a lot of things could happen, and it's an adventure that I don't think you'll deny is a good time. Regardless, if I have to give this movie a score, if I have to give it a score out of 10, which is I typically do, and you'll see it on mymetmedia.com as well in a listed article. If you don't want to hear me talk, you can listen to it, or you can read it on mymetmedia.com. But I would give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. Now, it's not an A for me. My reasoning behind it is fantastic in many, many ways, but I feel like this movie takes it a really, really safe path. It doesn't make many risks. It doesn't go out there and try to blow you away. It's a Toy Story movie. Toy Story 3 would blow you away. This movie won't blow you away, but it'll make you happy. It doesn't conclude the storyline of the toys, but what it will do is it concludes some character arcs that I feel like are completed. And I feel like you'll enjoy this movie regardless. And allow me to say this one thing. The animation in this movie is absolutely incredible. There's a point in the movie where there are raindrops falling. You see the reflection in the puddles on the ground next to a toy. And you see nearly realistic animation. These are very, very skilled animators, very, very skilled storyboarders, and very, very skilled graphic designers. And they've dissected every single little frame in this movie and made one of the most magnificent, beautiful animation projects in history. And Toy Story has always been good with animation, but this has crossed a new plane of fantastic image making and fantastic, talented, skillful animators. So go into this, look at it, fantastic. Regardless of what you think, it is perfect. So, 8.5 out of 10, that is my final score, my final review of Toy Story 4. Let me know what you think of the movie in the comments section down below. If you saw it, if you don't want to see it and would like to hear spoilers, go message me on Twitter and I'll DM you and we'll have a full conversation about this. At YankeeBrady1 on Twitter. You can find me Brady Pieper. That's typically the best way to find me anywhere because I exist just about everywhere. Regardless, thank you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you guys feel is necessary. Go watch this movie.